Holy shit, Marvel, Netflix, guys, what the hell? You're killing it. Marvel's Luke Cage. So Luke Cage is the third in a series of Marvel Netflix shows that are leading up to the big superhero team up, the Defenders. We got Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. So now we got Luke Cage, bulletproof man living in the streets of Harlem, New York. Who, if you watch season 1 of Jessica Jones, you've actually seen him a little bit already. But now we got 13 episodes that focus on him primarily. Now I'm just gonna go right for the throat on this one. This show is great. There's an asshole who's trying to take over Harlem. He's like, yeah, this is my city now, you're gonna live by my rules. And Luke Cage is like, I ain't having none of that shit. That might be an oversimplification, but that's pretty much what it is. And once the bad guys see what Luke Cage is made of, they go running. I love that. Watching Luke Cage throw down is badass, man. It's so cool. It's awesome. So many times these bad guys will just fire their guns. They'll give him everything they've got, and he'll just be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Now I'm gonna kick your ass. In fact, at a point it gets so badass that one of the villains in this show, Cottonmouth, played by Boggs from The Hunger Games, you know, you see him try to act calm, cool, collected. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm in control. Not really though. He doesn't know what to do. I love seeing that. He's like, yeah, I'm not in control. I'm not sure what to do. How do you stop a guy with unbreakable skin? Now, of course, Luke Cage is not the only good guy character in the show. We also got Detective Misty Knight, who I guess in the comics is a detective with a bionic arm, but for realism's sake, she doesn't have that in the show. But she's actually really cool. She's got the spunk, she got the attitude, she's got that take no prisoners demeanor. She has tension with Luke Cage. It's a classic case of superheroes going out doing his thing. Oh, let the police do their job. We've seen it quite a few times before, you know, in Daredevil and in Arrow and Spider-Man movies. We've seen it a bunch of times. But it worked in this show, you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Claire Temple, the Phil Coulson of these Netflix shows, she comes back and she actually has a pretty prominent role in this season. She's getting around. And so many times I wanted her to be like, oh, I know this lawyer in Hell's Kitchen, his name is Matt Murdock. It's like there's always a tease, you know, it's like, oh, by the way, and then like it'll be interrupted. Jessica Jones got a name drop though. So the show starts off really good, it's going along, and then at episode 7, something monumental happens. I was like, holy shit, I did not see that coming. It pretty much changes the direction of the entire season, which makes sense, you know, because it is like halfway through. It would have been like a great mid-season finale if this was on TV. That episode 7, dude, probably one of my favorite episodes of the season, if not my absolute favorite. And then after that episode, it did start to get a little slow. The action kind of cuts back a little bit, but that's when all the supporting characters really get to shine. Misty Knight in particular. And then we also get another villain who steps onto the scene. I'm actually not sure if saying who he is would spoil it. I'll throw up a picture of him right here, but I'm not gonna say who he is. But this dude is like 10 times more intense than Cottonmouth was. This dude was an awesome villain. I love this guy, and he actually had some personal history with Luke Cage. He had a bone to pick with him, and it was really cool to see them hash it out. And I will say this is probably the least gross of all these Marvel Netflix shows. There's only really one time in particular I remember going, no, I don't want to look at that. Nope. Either that is the case, or watching Game of Thrones has made me just more immune to that shit. I mean, this show had plenty of red to go around. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but it was just less so. And I cannot talk about Marvel's Luke Cage without talking about the music. I think everyone's going to agree that the music is definitely one of the highlights here. It's all hip-hop, which totally matches the Harlem vibe. The way it was edited into the scenes, like something would happen and the music just goes boom right with it. I love it when music does that. The score was written by Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest, and he collaborated with Method Man for this rap song you get to hear towards the end of the season. Not gonna lie, it's a great song. I got it. So Marvel's Luke Cage had great characters, a great villain, one villain that was eh. The story was great in the beginning, it slowed down a little bit in the middle, then it picked up at the end. It highlighted political issues, it had great music, and a ton of good Marvel Cinematic Universe references, which is never a bad thing to me. If I were to rank these Marvel Netflix seasons right now, I would say Daredevil Season 2 is at the top, then Luke Cage, then Daredevil Season 1, and then Jessica Jones is at the bottom. But Luke Cage is still a fantastic show. Watch it if you're a Marvel fan. So, Marvel's Luke Cage. Have you watched it? What did you think about it? And what are your Marvel Netflix seasons ranked? I'm actually really curious about this one, so whatever they are, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.